Hello friends, this is MB Ansari, Assistant Professor, CSE Department, ICM College, Aurangabad. In this video, we are going to discuss regarding Introduction to Linux Operating System. This is the subject which is in the first semester of second year Computer Science and Engineering branch. So, this is the first semester, and in the second year, most of the students they belong to two categories. Either they are coming from first year to second year, or they are coming from diploma to the engineering. So for first year to second year, this is totally new subject, because in the first year they have studied only related to computer science and engineering. They have studied only the C language fundamentals and programming fundamentals they have studied. They have not studied anything regarding the Linux operating system or operating system fundamentals. Similarly, for diploma, in diploma, I think diploma students, they might have this subject in their syllabus, either in the theory or in the lab. So for them also, this subject is somewhat new also, and for first year to second year students, this is totally new subject. So first of all, for understanding the Linux operating system, as this subject, it is totally belongs to the operating system. So first of all, we must know what is operating system. So for first we will discuss what is operating system, then we will go for the Linux operating system, because as for understanding this Linux operating system, we must know what is operating system, what are functions of operating system, how the operating systems are designed, how operating system works, what are the fundamental things they require to understand the concept of operating system. So if you have the fundamental concept of all these topics, then it is very easy to understand this subject. It is very easy to master this subject. It is very easy to have a good score in this subject. So before going to start with that particular thing of operating system, fundamentals and all what is Linux and all that things, first we will discuss regarding the syllabus. So if you go through the syllabus, so in the syllabus, this subject, it is for totally this subject is divided in the two parts. One is theory and one is practical. So for theory, total we are having 100 marks. From that 100 marks, the division is there. So first 80 marks are divided for the theory examination, and class test, it is consisting of 20 marks. So like this, total 100 marks syllabus is for theory, and similarly the total 50 marks are there for the practical. So this subject weightage is total 150 marks out of your whatever other subjects and marks are there. So from that, this subject is for total 150 marks. So 50 marks are there for practical and 100 marks are there for theory. In that also 80 marks for theory examination and 20 marks for class test. So in this way, the syllabus is divided into different marks and different parts, theory as well as practical. Now first we will go through the syllabus of all this, whatever the syllabus of the Linux operating system is there in the prescribed university syllabus. So in that, whatever the things means the university has designed the subject by keeping the prerequisite, by keeping in the mind that prerequisites are there. What are prerequisites? Prerequisite means what are the basic things the student must know. Suppose if you want to study or if you want to solve the problems of the maths, so prerequisite that you must know what is addition, how to perform addition, what is multiplication, how to perform multiplication and division and all that things. So what are the basic? These are all basics operations which are required for performing the basic operations of the mathematics. Similarly, to understand this subject, the prerequisites are there. There are some prerequisites which are expected for the teachers as well as university, and all that things are that the student must have the basic knowledge of basic DOS commands, line operations, C programming, and moderate knowledge of operating system. So here is the basic our problem is there. So in the first year itself, we have not studied any DOS. DOS, it stands for disk operating system. It is also one type of operating system. Before Windows, we are having this operating system. So this operating system nowadays we are using for system programming and all that things, but mostly this operating system nowadays we are using only for the expert users, DOS operating system. And similarly C programming already you studied in the first semester and second semester of the first year. All the fundamental concepts such as arrays, pointers, structures, union, functions. So all these concepts that you have studied, because some programming part, because this subject, in this subject some programming part is also there. So for that, for understanding that particular programming part, for writing some codes or some scripts, for writing some coding, some commands and all that things, the basic knowledge of C language, it is also required. Means student must know C language. Similarly DOS commands, if for C language already you have studied, as the students of the second year, they have already studied C language in the first semester and second semester of the first year. Again I will recommend those who have not studied thoroughly, again go through all the topics. I always recommend the students to refer the book of Yashwant Kanetkar, Let Us See by Yashwant Kanetkar. It is very good book if you can refer it. So it is for beginner as well as experts. So if you want to understand and if you want to become master also of the C language, you have to, I recommend you that you first read this book, Let Us See by Yashwant Kanetkar. So from that you can understand basic as well as advanced concept of the C language, and thoroughly you can understand in a very easy language. The author has explained all the concept of the C language. Similarly for DOS commands, it is totally new concept for the first year, from first year to second year coming students. So it's totally new concept. So I will explain all that things later on. There is no need of worry. So first of all you must go through the concept of C language, so that you can have the fundamental understanding of this subject. These are the prerequisites required by the university to understand this subject, and they have designed the subject syllabus in such a way that students know all this concept. Similarly, second prerequisite for understanding this subject is you must have moderate knowledge of operating system. Now operating system, it is totally new subject for first year to second year students, and they only know the names of some operating, such as most of the students we are having that is Android operating system, Android phones. So we know that names, but actually what is operating system and how they works and how they are designed, what are the functions of operating system, for that we are totally new for. So don't worry, we will discuss all that things also. So these are the prerequisites, no need to worry about the knowledge and all that things. We will go through all the concepts. Now these are prerequisites. Now objectives, why this syllabus is kept in the syllabus of the second year first semester, so that there are some objectives are there. So everything is as some objective. You are studying, we are having some objective. I am teaching, I am having some objective. So like that, so by keeping this syllabus, by keeping this subject in the syllabus, university has some objectives. So what are that objectives? So that also we will go through it. So first objective is to understand basic of Linux operating system. Basic of Linux operating system. Second objective is to understand command line interface. Command line interface. So we will see it in our next topics or next discussion. And third one is to get acquainted with the Linux operating system by understanding configuration and troubleshooting of Linux operating system. Means to get acquainted or become expert of Linux operating system by configuration and troubleshooting of the Linux operating system. So these are the objectives. 3 objectives are there and 2 prerequisites are there. Now coming to the content of the syllabus. So in the first, the syllabus is divided in 2 parts, section A, section B. So in the section A, there are 3 units. In that, first unit is for introduction to Linux operating system, second unit is Linux basics usage, and third unit is process management in Linux. And in the section B, we are having network configuration, section unit number 4, unit number 5 server installation, shell scripting, and unit number 6 maintaining and troubleshooting Linux. So these are the topics of the syllabus which are divided into two parts, section A and section B. Section A consisting of 3 units, section B consisting of 3 units. So in the section A, first we will discuss the first topic, that is first unit syllabus, that is introduction to Linux operating system. This is the name of the topic or unit. In that we are having further topics such as introduction and types of operating system. So in that we will see the definition of operating system, types of operating system, then what are the functions of operating system, what are the goals of the operating system, and why operating system is required, and all the fundamental concept of the operating system, so that the other things related to our Linux operating system we can easily understand. Similarly, now after understanding the introduction and fundamental things of operating system, we'll go to the topics such as interfaces of OS. So what are different interfaces? We'll see what is interface and what is the purpose of interface, and what are different interfaces in the Linux operating system for the operating system. Such in that we are having CLI and GUI. CLI command line interface, GUI graphical user interface. Then we are having history of Linux operating system, how the operating system was developed, who has developed this operating system, and how it has come into different stages, what are different flavors and all that things. Then we will study regarding architecture of Linux operating system, how that operating system was designed, and what are different modules and all that things, or how they are organized. So that is in the architecture of Linux operating system. Then we are having features of Linux operating system. What are different features are there? What are different properties? What are different distinguished features are there for the Linux operating system? Then we'll go to study difference between Linux and other operating system, because most of us now, as we are all we use Windows operating system. Like that, there are so many other operating systems are there. So in our syllabus there is Linux. So now we'll compare between this Linux and Windows operating system, and we are using now Android also. So we'll see the difference between this. So there are so n number of operating systems are there. So we'll see the difference between some of the operating system. We'll compare with the Linux with the other operating system, like that. Now Linux distributions. So distributions means here we are going to study what are different Linux flavors, like that. Linux distributions are there, like we are having Ubuntu, Fedora, Red Hat. So like this, there are different names and different distributions, different, you can say, flavors of the operating system. Linux operating systems are there. So we'll study that in the Linux distribution. Similarly, now we are going to study very different, very important topics such as boot process and run level. So what is booting, what is boot process, and what are run levels? And then we'll study regarding major application areas of Linux. What are different application areas are there? There are so many other application areas. There are so many other applications are there. So in which areas these Linux operating systems are used? So we'll study like that. So like this, these are the our syllabus of the first unit of our syllabus. So in we'll study one by one, starting from the basic of the operating system, and then we'll go one by one the topic of all remaining topics in the first unit of our syllabus. Okay, thank you.